Both are none of these. Yes, my dear.
So none of this.
None of these. Any others? Any others? Dear, when I am discussing the algorithm under the primitive and non-primitive means, this algorithm must be belong with the either primitive or non-primitive or both. So none of this is the not correct answer. Now I give the three choice: primitive, non-primitive, both. Tell me the which is the correct answer. Please. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Tell me primitive, non-primitive or both. Think na. I again request you please download the PPT from the teacher sign and try to revise at home, my dear. Shortage of first is the primitive as well as the non. Now question is come when HJF is the primitive and when HJF is the non-primitive. When all processes are reached at the same time or arrival time is not mentioned means all processes come at the same time. That time we should follow the non-preemptive rules for the shortage of first. But when the arrival time is the given, then our process come at the different arrival time, then we should follow the preemptive algorithm for the shortage of first. Okay. So as it is called shortage of first algorithm, each process length is the next execute burst. Burst means that is the total time taken by the process. So it may be primitive, it may be non-primitive. How can we measure? We can measure as per the question. Just I am giving you the example. Just watch here. No. Process. First time. Suppose process is the one, P2 and P4. Brush time is the 6, 4, 8, 2. We are following the shortage of first algorithm. This is our problem. Okay. There are four process and brush time is given. Now we should solve as per the shortage of first. So first of all, tell me, my dear, this problem belongs with the primitive or non-primitive? Tell me. Anyone, please tell me. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, as I mentioned the problem, it is the primitive or non-primitive? As you found that there is a no arrival time is given, means all process come at the same time. All process come at the same time. So for each process, arrival time is the same. That's why when the each process arrival time is same, then it behave like non-primitive. Okay. So tell me which process will be allowed first. For that, you check the brush time, which process have less brush time. Tell me which process have the less brush time?
P4.
P4. Means P4 require only two unit of the time. As per the shortage of first means the process which take less time that will be allowed first. So that's why we can mention the P4. Okay, it require unit time is the two. Mention the two. Here we can start from one also, nobody tension. Two. Next is the so P4 already completed. Okay. Now remaining is the P1, P2, P3. Compare and tell me which process will take the less time.
P2.
P2 because P1 requires 6, P2 requires 4 and P3 requires 9. So P2 will be allowed. How much time taken? 4. So 2 and 4 is the 6. Okay. So P2 already used the system. Remaining is the P1 and P3. Now tell me which will be allowed first.
P1.
Which P1? Because P3 require 9 and P1 requires 6. So P1 will allow first. So 6 plus 6 is the system time here. And lastly, there is only one process that is the P3. We should allow to P3 to use the system and complete the task that take the 9 means 12 and 9 is the 21. So this is the Gantt chart as per the algorithm and our problem. Now we should calculate the waiting time. Then we calculate the average waiting time. So tell me what will the waiting time? Waiting time. Waiting time. What will be for P1? What will the value of the for the P1? Tell me the waiting time for the P1.
So 6.
6. Yeah. Because arrival time is not given, so we don't minus the arrival time. If the arrival time is given, suppose arrival time everyone for the 2, then we should minus 2. Okay. So whatever. Next for the P2. Tell me, my dear.
4.
Waiting
4
time.
Sir,
minus
2.
2.
2, sir. 2.
Yeah. For the P3, my dear.
12.
And for P4. For the P4.
Sir, 0.
0. Because when system start, the P4 enter into the system. Now we should calculate the average waiting time. What is the formula? Only whatever you get the waiting time for the P1 plus P2 plus P3 as there are 4 processes, that's why we divided by the 4. Any question, my dear? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what will the value?
5.
20 divided by 4. And this will be, why did it come? So total answer will be 5. Then that will be equal to 5. Any question, my dear?
No, sir.
No. So this is the formula to calculate the average waiting time. If I ask tell me the average turnaround time, this turnaround time, tell me, my dear. Very simple. What is the total turnaround time is the 21, means when the all process complete the task, what is the system time? System time is the 21. So 21 divided by the 4 and it to 4 point or 5.5. Tell me 5.25. Okay, this is the answer. Any query?
Yes, sir.
If you have any query, you can ask. So how can we calculate the average turnaround time? Just you find out when the system complete the task, what is the last timing? Here is the last timing is the 21 and divided by the total number of the classes. So there's the total number of the process and process is the 4. That's why it is divided by 4. Good morning, ma'am. I am in the class.
Yeah, I know that.
Hello,
Yes, sir.
are you able to me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the process. But when we have the arrival time, so how can we calculate? Okay. Hello.
Yes, sir.
1 minute, my dear. Just I mentioned the question. That's why you are able. Just you can practice now. Okay, I will be give the another example for the primitive. This was the not primitive. You will be practice or I give the some another example for the non-primitive. Hello.
Yes, sir. Give some example.
Okay, thank you, man. Suppose this was the given thing. Now this was the and here we mention the arrival time. Okay. Arrival time. Suppose one. No, this will be take. Suppose this is the arrival time is the given for each process. Okay. As we found that the arrival time was the difference for each process, that means it's belong with the primitive. So how can we design the process? No issue. Go back. Again, check. So tell me when the clock time is the zero, which process are available into the system? When clock time is the zero, tell me which process are available into the system.
So P1.
P1. How much time required for the P1?
6.
6. Before the starting, we should write here P1, P2, P4. Huh? And it will be help to you. But 6, P2, but 4. I am writing, you will be able to understand just after some, just after a little moment. P4 that require 2 in time. Now, P1 will be allowed first because when the system time is the 0, only P1 is the available. P1. When the clock time is the 1, Then tell me which are process are available into the system when the clock time is the 1. How many processes are available?
So P1 and P2.
P1 and P2. Now, so we already spent the 1 minute, 1 unit of the time. So P1 complete the task 1 unit. So 6 minus 1. Now equal to 5. Remaining, how much remaining parts? They require 5 unit of the time to complete the task after 1 unit. After 1 unit. Now in the system, there are only two. Where it go? Only two process. One is the P1 and another is the P2. When the clock time is the 1. When the clock time is the 1. Now compare which process require less time to complete the task among the P1 and P2. Because currently there are two processes available. One is the P1, another is the P2. When the clock time is the 1. Tell me, my dear, which process take less time?
So
P2.
P2. P2 means we will stop the P1 and allow to the P2. Okay. Now, when clock time is 2. What? 1 minute, my dear. Hello.
Yes, sir.
So when clock time is the 2, means P1 already complete the 1 unit because P1 enter into the 1 and it complete the 1 unit time. Then remaining time is the 3. Okay. Remaining time is the 3. When the clock time is the 2. That time we found the another process have come into the system. Okay. The name of the process is the P3. Now, at that time, when the clock time is the 2, we found that there are three processes, P1, P2, and P3. Tell me, my dear, which process require less time? Tell me, my dear, which process require the less time when the clock time is the 2? When the clock time is the 2. Hello.
P2. P2, sir.
So
P2,
P2,
sir. 1.
so P2 require 3, P1 require 5, and P3 require 9. Among these, we found that P1 requires the less time. Okay. Now, so P2 will be continue. P2 will be allowed to continue complete the task as P2 has the less brush time compared to the P1 and P3. Now, when the clock time is the 3. When the clock time is the 3 means after 2 they come 3 means already P1, P2 again complete the 1 unit time. So because currently P2 is using the system, So minus 1. So remaining brush time is the 2. When the clock time 3, then we found that another process come into the system. That is a P4. And here we found that we have 4 processes. For the P1, we have required 5. For the P2, required 2. P3, 9 and P4, 2. Now question is there are two processes P2 and P4 have same brush time. So which will be allowed first? So here we found that the P2 is already available into the system or P2 already using the C resources. That's why P2 will allow to complete the task as P2 is the also lay have the less brush time or P2 require the less time compared to the P1 and P3. So as we found that the P2 require only 4, so P2 will be continue and complete their task. Then the system time will be 1 plus 4 equal to 5. From where why I am adding the 4 because P2 requires the 4 unit of the time. So 1 plus 4 is the 5 means P1 already complete the task. So now not required. Okay. Now we have the 3 process P1, P3 and P4. Tell me my dear, the P1 require the 5 unit time, P3 require the 9 unit time and P4 require the 2 unit time. Tell me which process require less time compared to the P1, P3 and P4. Please tell me my dear.
So P4.
P4. Good. So P4 will be allowed. How much time required? 2 unit time. So 5 and 2. What will the answer? What will the system time? Tell me, my dear. P4 require the 2 unit time. When P4 complete the task, then what will be the system time? Before the entering into the system, before P4 entering the system, what was the system time?
5.
5. Now P4 require the 2 unit time. So when P2 will be complete the task, then what will the system time?
6.
How can you say 6, my dear?
So 5 plus
5 plus?
Plus 7.
5
Please
plus
repeat
2,
again.
7.
7. Then 7. So P2 also complete the task. Okay. Now remaining process is the P1 and P3. Tell me, my dear, which process will be allowed? Which
P1.
process? P1. P1. P1 require here 5 unit of the time. So 7 plus 5. What will the system time?
12.
12. So P1 also completes the task. Now P3. Only one process. Then not required to compare with the any others. So last is P3 is the allow to enter into the system and complete the task. And P3 require the 9. So 12 plus 9 equal to. Any question, my dear? Any question? Tell me, my dear, any question? Hello.
No, sir.
So system time is the 21. Now we should calculate the waiting time. This is the little quite different compared to the non-primitive. This was the primitive, no? Okay. So when P1 finished the task, or when P1 enter into the last time into the system, what was the time? System time. I found that P1 enter when the last enter when the 7, or you can find out when the system time is the 12, then P1 complete the task. Okay. So before, what was the system time? I already scrolling the mouse.
The 7.
7. So last waiting time for the P1 is the 7. Now minus arrival time, that is the 0. Arrival time is the 0. Okay. Minus if before that the P1 use the system. So before 7, P1 use the system. Try to find out. Each P1 use the system before the 7?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So what is the duration? Tell me the duration of the time.
So 1 unit time.
1 unit of time.
Yeah, so we also minus 1. What is the actual average waiting time, my dear? Tell me the answer.
6.
This is a little bit some confusion. So if you are not able to answer, please ask me again. I will be repeat. First, we should try to find out when the system, when the process finish the time, what is the system time? That is the 12. We should take before that. That is the 7. So 7. Now minus arrival time. Arrival time is the 0. Then minus if how many times the P1 used the system before the 7. I found only one time P1 used the system. Then we try to find out for which duration that P1 used the system. We find out only 1 unit of the time. That's why P1 7 minus arrival time, that is the 0, minus duration, that is the 1 time, and waiting time for P1 is the 6. Next for the P2. Tell me, my dear, where the P2 finish the task?
So when system time is 5.
Before that, what is the time?
1.
So waiting time is the 1. Now, what is the arrival time?
The 1.
1. Tell me, before that, P2 use the system?
No. No.
No, sir.
Not required. Then 1 minus 1 equal to
0.
0. Means waiting time for the P2 is the 0. For the P3, tell me, my dear, when the P3 finish the time, what is the system time?
The 21.
21. Good, my dear. And before the 21,
21.
Before the 21, tell me the system time.
12.
12. So the 12 minus arrival time. What is the arrival time for the P3?
2.
2 minus if P3 use the system before that. Please tell me, each P3 use the system before that? Yes or no?
No, sir.
No.
Means not equal to minus. So 12 minus 2 equal to 10. The waiting time for the P3 is the 10. Now for the P4, tell me, my dear. Tell, tell me for the P4. Please go to the chicken chart and try to find out when P4 complete the
5
task.
minus 3.
Yeah,
5 minus 3.
yeah, because before putting to the system, the time was 5, so that is the 5, and arrival time for the P4 is the 3, so minus 3, and before that the P4 is not use the system, that's why we minus only waiting time and arrival time and equal to the 2.
2.
Are you able to understand my question or
Yes, sir.
any query to anyone? Please tell. Are there any query? Hello, my dear, if
No,
you are
sir.
okay. So how can we calculate the average waiting time? For the P1 is the
Sir,
6, for P2 is the 0, and for the P3 is the 10, and for the P4 is the 2. So that is the 18. So 18 divided by the 4. What will the value? 4 point
4.5.
4.5. Okay.
Yes,
And
sir.
turnaround will be same. So this is the process for the no a primitive shortage of first. So today we learned the shortage of first, primitive and non-primitive. Again, I am requesting to all of you, if you have any query, you can ask. Any query, any query? If you are not able to understand, please ask to me. Hello.
No, sir.
So at your home, can you practice?
Yes, sir.
So please try to solve a different question. It will help you to enhance your knowledge. At the time of solving the problem, if you feel any query, That time you can also call me and discuss with me regarding your issue. Okay? And one more announcement. Today we have the test through the TCSI.
Sir, subject is not showing.
The subject is the showing. Now, please check. Please check. Are you today checked?
No, sir.
All
Yesterday night, yes, till yesterday night it was not showing. Now I'm checking.
please check and reply me at the 12. At the 12 noon, are you getting the question paper? If yes, then you should start the question and give the answer there. And all of you requested to submit your assignment by tomorrow. Otherwise, my dear, I am not able to give you the marks. So all of you should submit the assignment and appear in the exam. Okay? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Please do. If you face any problem, please call me. Okay? Bye.
Sir, subject is not showing, sir.
Subject is not showing.